Mr. Romero, let me tell you, and this is Marcus, by the way, in Salt Lake City.
Hi.
And I get to talk to a lot of, big rock star types, Nikki Sixx and whatnot. And I never get nervous, but around guys, I'm a big fan, and so I've been nervous all morning. So
Please.
hopefully you'll excuse me. Of course, yesterday the release on DVD of Survival of the Dead. I haven't seen that one yet. Diary of the Dead is running on I think Cinemax or something, and I've watched that a couple times. I saw that one in the theater. What I enjoy in that one, they actually comment about the difference between they're making the little student film.
Yeah.
And they make the comment that zombies are supposed to be slow and awkward. I giving yourself a little zombie-style shout-out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't understand the running zombie. Doesn't make sense to me. I really think it's video games that made them move fast, and then filmmakers felt that they had to keep up. And so in fact, what they did, I think it didn't make sense to anybody. So they made them not dead. They gave them, rage virus.
Yeah, and superhuman strength, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's not nearly as fun.
I don't know. A lot of these new zombie films, even Zombieland, they're not dead. 28 days later, they're not dead.
Right.
My guys are dead, and dead guys move slow.
Right. But here's the question I've always wanted to ask, and since you're, hands down the expert, Mr. Romero, since zombies eat, do zombies poop?
Do they need a toilet?
Right.
I've avoided that issue. And you're the first person that's ever asked that question.
Are you kidding? No one's ever asked you that?
No one's ever asked me that. I'm actually in the process of writing a zombie novel right now, and I sort of address it in there. One of the main characters is a doctor who naturally does ask that question. And
there you go.
I don't think it's anything that people want to see. It wouldn't be exactly an action sequence.
Maybe it's just me. But I think it would be funny if in one scene they bust open the house door and there's a zombie on the can.
Well, maybe I'll do it, and I'll credit you. I'll give you an associate producer credit.
Yeah, the characters look at each other and go, "Well, they eat. I guess they gotta go."
So it makes sense.
And then they plug him right in the head or whatever. Yeah. So Survival of the Dead, it kind of goes with your Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead saga. And what's the commentary? You always like to have some sort of undertone, social commentary. What's the commentary in your Survival of the Dead?
Well, I think it's mainly about war, about conflicts that don't die, conflicts that start and people don't even remember what started it, and they just know that, you're my enemy.
I think we know what you're talking
about.
Think
of it as, Northern Ireland or the Middle East or the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it's about. And in Survival of the Dead, it actually keeps people from making discoveries and learning something. There's a big new thing that happens. The zombies wind up eating something other than a human. And the point gets missed because people are too busy shooting at each other.
Too busy hating them. There's too much hate in the world.
Yeah, there is.
No, that's cool. A zombie message. I liked in Land of the Dead where the zombies kind of started organizing and there was a zombie leader and stuff.
Yeah.
And what has been over the course of your zombie history? What has been your favorite way to kill a zombie?
Actually, in this newest film, computer effects enable you to do things to actors that they wouldn't normally let you do to them on the set.
Right, not like the old helicopter trick in Dawn of the Dead.
In Dawn of the Dead, right? You know this stuff. That's great.
Which used to be my favorite zombie kill, of course, and it still holds a spot in my heart. But
it still is one of my favorites, and probably it will remain, right up there. We pulled it off somehow mechanically, and I used to work with an effects guy named Tom Savini.
Right.
When we were doing practical effects, and he was really a genius at some of the stuff that he did. There's one gag in Survival of the Dead that I really love. It involves a fire extinguisher, and it's mostly CG, but it's a real Looney Tunes kind of moment.
I'm probably just going to go out and buy it because I end up buying them anyway. Because are there good extras on the DVD?
They did a great job putting it together.
besides zombie movie trends, there's zombie walks now that people are hosting. Almost every major city has a day dedicated to their zombie walk. We had ours like 2 weeks ago. And
I haven't been able to explain that. I mean, I don't know, but I know it's all over the world. I mean, I'm constantly asked to be on the phone and talking to the zombies in, Budapest or something. And I don't know what it's about.
We love our zombies. Because they're kind of us, but they're kind of wacky and they're a little bit scary, all into one. And they're all that is good. Some of them are kind of sexy. In fact, I remember reading an article on Night of the Living Dead. Is when you were one of the first people to have a naked zombie.
Yeah.
Which made sense. You're on the slab and you get up and you're looking for food. So.
Well, I've avoided sexual themes among the humans.
Most horror movies, they're getting down and when the monsters come in, but you don't have that. You don't waste our time with that. You're a purist.
Yeah.
But I just want to remind everybody we're talking to George A. Romero, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead. Day of the Dead, of course. I love Day of the Dead.
It's actually my favorite.
The shovel scene, when the eyes are looking around still after he cuts that off. That's one of my favorites in that one. See, I'm a fan. The friendly zombie.
That was my favorite zombie.
So after Survival of the Dead, what do you got coming up?
When we made Diary of the Dead, I sort of was running away from Hollywood, if you will. Land of the Dead right before that was a bigger budget and movie stars and
right
all that. And so I said, well, I'm going to go back to the roots here. So we did Diary on a very low budget. And, I was able to get creative control because of that.
And it's at least as fun as Land of the Dead, let me tell you.
Really, because Diary was so inexpensive to make that even though it had a limited release, it wound up making a lot of bread, and that's why Survival exists.
By the way, my favorite kill in that movie, the resuscitators. What are those called? The defibrillators.
Defibrillators.
Bam! The eyeballs come out. That's awesome. So,
there's a couple of good ones in the new film. Get a chuckle out of it.
I'm going to run to the Target and pick it up today and watch it tonight. Cut in my jammies. You probably didn't need to know that. All right, George A. Romero, thanks for stopping in. Check out Survival of the Dead in stores now. Seems like the last thing I wanted to mention is I was checking out your IMDb page and I noticed that you were an FBI agent in Memphis in Silence of the Lambs, an actor. That's my favorite scene.
It's sort of like Find Waldo, I'm in the background. I did get to drag Jodie Foster away from Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, yeah, when she's in the library or whatever that is.
In the jail cell there where they have him in the cell.
I'm going to have to rewatch that.
So it was great fun. It was great fun to be on the set and meet those wonderful actors.
I'm going to rewatch that and go, that's George A. Romero right there. Look. That's so cool. All right, thanks. I'll let you go, George. Thanks for stopping in. It's seriously an amazing, great honor to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, you have a great morning.
You too. Bye.
Bye.